वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा।
सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामनरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा।
गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरा गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। जय गणपति जय गणनायक जय गणपति जय गणनायक जय गणपति वंदन गणनायक जय गणपति वंदन गणनायक। तेरी छवि अति सुंदर सुखदायक तेरी छवि अति सुंदर सुखदायक जय गणपति वंदन गणनायक जय गणपति वंदन गणनायक। तू चार भुजाधारी मस्तक सिंदूरी चार भुजाधारी मस्तक सिंदूरी रूप निराला है मूषक वाहन तेरो तू ही जग का रखवाला। तेरी सुंदर मूरत मन में तेरी सुंदर मूरत मन में तू पालक सिद्धि विनायक जय गणपति वंदन गणनायक जय गणपति वंदन गणनायक। मन मंदिर का अंधियारा तेरे नाम से हो उजियारा मन मंदिर का अंधियारा तेरे नाम से हो उजियारा। तेरे नाम की ज्योति जली हो मन में बहती सुखधारा। तेरी सुमिरन हर पूजन में तेरी सुमिरन हर पूजन में सबसे पहले फलदायक जय गणपति वंदन गणनायक जय गणपति वंदन गणनायक। तेरी छवि अति सुंदर सुखदायक तेरी छवि अति सुंदर सुखदायक जय गणपति वंदन गणनायक जय गणपति वंदन गणनायक जय गणपति वंदन गणनायक।
Devotees and friends, Sitaram to one and all, and welcome to this, the 6th day of our reading and the 7th day of our devotion. We have started on Saturday morning where we have installed our Murtis and Son, and so children of God, today we again bless to commence another day of devotion to Ganesh Bhagwan. And Ganesh Bhagwan, my dear friends, have been treating us well as a group and as individuals for the last 12 years. And this is as long as we have been performing our Ganesh Utsav. And so, devotees and friends, Ganesh Bhagwan would lead us and remove all obstacles from our path as a group and also as individuals. This evening, all these wonderful people who took your time out to come and visit us here at 56 Mapipi Road, where we have initiated the shrine of Sri Ganesh Bhagwan for this Ganesh Utsav devotion. And here we have initiated the shrine that we continue to do our devotion, all that the necessary requirements and all that is necessary for us to transform ourselves as Sanatanis, we perform right here. Dharam ki Awaaj Seva Sabha, devotees and friends, bring to each and every one that love, and we try in our humble way to create that situation for transformation. Dharam ki Awaaj Seva Sabha invite all to join with us. No matter where you are, no matter who you are, once you're willing to follow the tenets of Sanatan Dharma with open arms, we welcome all of you. Children of God, at this time, put your hands together. Put your hands together, close the physical eyes as you concentrate and meditate upon that Divine Master, asking for guidance and protection. We all pray. Gajananam bhutaganaadi sevitam kapita jambho palsar bhakshanam umasutam shoka vinashikarkam namami Vigneshwar parapankajam. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Saraswati Rupena Sanskritam Namastasye 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 Namo Namah. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaram Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Nagindraharam Trilochanayam Vashmangragaya Maheshwarayam Nithyaya Shudaya Digam Marayam तस्मै नकाराय नमः शिवाय। ॐ अंजनी गर्भासन्मुखो वायुपुत्रो महाबोम कुमारो ब्रह्मचारी च हनुमान में प्रसिद्ध ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ओम। प्रेम से बोले श्री कृष्ण भगवान की जय। गणेश भगवान की। Devotees and friends, this evening I want you grant me 5 minutes of your time and a little song. 5 minutes of your time, or that I would not be indulging into the scriptures for this 5 minutes. But I need to do something that is very, very, very much important to us all. And I want to introduce to you this evening a few key members of Dharam Ki Awaaj Seva Sabha. First of all, I want to introduce to you, and he would say a few words to you, Pandit Jai, who have been one of our spiritual leaders, and he have been here dedicating his time, my dear friends, very, very much with Dharam Ki Awaaj Seva Sabha. So I now ask Pandit Jai to come forward and say a few words to you, and then we will introduce those executive members who are here this evening.
सिद्धि विनायकाय गम गणपते भगवान की जय. We have all gathered here under the umbrella of God. We are on this bhumi, this earth, for the upliftment of ourselves. And the Dharam Ki Awaaj means following the Dharma, the principle which helps the soul to evolve itself, to uplift itself, to motivate itself. Only through the dharmic qualities, only by that alone we shall evolve. For we are travelers on the journey, and we are here for a short space of time. We are holidaying here and we have to leave. So therefore this earth and this place is not our permanent stay. All what you have given to us is the requirements and the tools for the betterment of yourself and your soul. That's why the Awaaz is the voice and the voice of God. And as we come in this Utsav to listen to the motivations of that voice from the scripture to elevate you to the higher level and to speak and to come in contact and communication with that divine, such is the Dharam Awaaj, the voice of the Lord, through the scriptures, through humanity and through the Guru. Gam Ganapati Bhagwan ki Jai.
Thank you very much, Pandit Jai. And my dear friends, we'll now introduce our president, Narisa Kandika Ramsumir, a person who holds a first-class honors degree in Management of Information System This is our president, our vice president, Mr. Munesh Ramuta, and he also holds management skills and position and degree. Our secretary, unfortunately, because her grandmother got COVID, and we do not want to put anybody at risk, she is in quarantine, so our secretary, Mistress Shamela Devnarain, who holds a master's degree in business administration, and that's our secretary. So then our assistant secretary, who was a school teacher because of personal commitments and so on, had asked for a little leave, and so we have holding in that position, we have Ganesh Ramsaran. Where is Ganesh? Okay, Ganesh is on an assignment at this time. Our treasurer was here last night. She here right now? So our treasurer, Shamila Ramlogan. Sorry, child, I didn't see when you walk in. And my eyes see everybody when they come. I don't know how you lie. And Shamila, our treasurer, has been in the accounting field, and she is now managing in that accounting field for over 20 years. I think it's more, but I just average 20. Our two trustees, Anushka Ramsumir and Anil Ramsarup. Anil, because of work, is not here. Anushka, because of work in the kitchen, she is there. Our public relation officer, appointed at the beginning, because of work, he had been qualified as a pharmacist, could not continue because he's supporting the group and everything else, but his work take him within this hour. He will be finishing work at 8:30. So we have Sarita Mahabir, who is in that position, and Sarita Mahabir is a senior lecturer at UTT in Shagaramas. We have our the Sewa officer, you want to call them the social, what we call them? Social and welfare, but we call her the Sewa officer, and that is Camille. Where is Camille? And Camille has been a welfare officer professionally. We had our education officer, and because of health reason, she is not here, and because of the health reason will not be able to continue, but we have to we put somebody there already? No. We have not placed somebody yet with the education, and we'll have to get. We have a few committee members who are present here. But before we do that, we have the event coordinator, and one thing Dharam Kiavaj had from the time of our birth is events after events after events. And this small little lady makes sure that everything is in order. And when she can't get it in order, she's part of the vice president. He's half and she's the other half. So the vice president get the trouble, Then we have, my dear friends, a student of marine studies, our youth officer. He's in his final year this year, and he's our youth officer, and he's ably helped by Rajiv and Dylan and the rest of the youths. And we have a few committee members. You know who you are. Please come forward. Roshan, Uncle Krishna. Well, Krishna, my son. Okay, Baldat not here. Sir, a maths teacher for over 30 years, is one of our auditor. And the next auditor, Onella, who manages a serious part of money at Scotia's Bank. She's one of the managers in the loan department. Ganesh is here, who is our assistant secretary. Ganesh, come take your place. I'll leave out anybody. And my dear friends, one thing with Dharam Ki Awaaj, we believe in discipline. And we could not have a better disciplinary officer. So we ask the disciplinary officer to come forward, please. Where is Dinesh? Come here. Disciplinary officer, take in front of all of them. And my dear friends, I want to tell to you, if I fall short, I get disciplined too. Such is this disciplinary officer. And children of God, to maintain and to keep the music aspect going, I have put Omar to lead that side, assisted by Ravi. So to all stand up, please too. Fine. Because without the music, you know, this thing cannot happen as it should. Omar is there, and Omar's support is wonderful towards me. When Omar is here, I don't play harmonium. And so, children of God, these are the people who guide and hold Dharam Ki Awaaj. Their shoulders hold it together. And we have, registered over 75 members in our membership. A good youth following. Because within the last year, we had one of the most wonderful youth and family days, and we are going to have it again. And you will see the power of the youth. And once Dharam Ki Awaaj invests into our youths, then my dear friends, we know Dharam Ki Awaaj will live for long. Dharam Ki Awaaj have done something for sustenance, and we have the Chinmayan Mission has a Puja Bidhi course going on, which will be a certificated course. And we have asked 3 of our members to be part of that. So we are hoping that they will be successful and be certificated. So we have Nirav, 20 years old. Where is Nirav? Stand up. Nirav is one of the students going there. Dinesh, our assistant secretary, is the next one studying the Pandit Bidhi, and Ravi. So my dear friends, we have 3 young people. And we have about 6 people who have Ramcharitmanas who follows with me every Tuesday. And my dear friends, I'm hoping that take enough notes that they can bring a very, very efficient discourse if Pandit Vishnu is not there. Today, I want to personally give my blessing to Krishna Gita. And from the 17th of December 2020, they had opened their doors to Dharam Ki Awaaj. And my dear friends, we have been having activities, and not a single day have Krishna nor Gita showed any sign that we are overdoing it. Because this is the only way Sanatan Dharma can move forward in transformation. So children of God, viewers on Sankhya TV, on Pandit Vishnu Live, and www.dharamkiavaj.com, our online radio station which will be coming very soon. My dear friends, you see that this is a group not working vike. This is a group well structured, and they are so serious that every evening when you all go away home, every evening they have a post-mortem of what the last evening was and what we have to improve and what have to happen. So children of God, we invite you, come and be part of Dharam Ki Awaaz, a group of people who is working to transform the lives of people, not just only Hindus. A group of people working to lift Sanatan Dharma and to lift the lives of people. And transformation is our keyword. We must transform ourselves. We cannot be stagnated and live as we are today. My dear friends, I want you all to join with me as I recite prayer to Ganesh Bhagwan, to these wonderful people who now hold the fort to Dharam Ki Awaaz. Om Samukascha Ekadantascha Kapilo Gajakarnakam Lambodarasacha Vikto Viganasham Ganadipati Namaham Om Dhumraketu Ganayaksho Balachandro Gajyanaham Dwadeshatani Namami Yatsrinudayapim Vidyarambe Vivahe Cha Pravishe Nirgamitatham Sangrami Sankate Chay Evam Vignamatasya na Jayatim. Om Sri Ganesha Bhagwan Ki Jai. Put your hands together for this wonderful group of people here, please. Thank you all very much, and we continue. So children of God, you can see, one thing I can tell to you, Pandit Vishnu has more time now to concentrate and to bring the discourses to you. And I do not think I have a moment to spend in administration. However, whenever I see there is a little down, I would call them together and let them know my observation, which has been corrected immediately. This group, Dharam Ki Awaaz, is also registered as dictated by the law of Trinidad and Tobago with the Ministry of Legal Affairs. So we are very, very much structured group, and we are legal group. Principal Sri Ganesh Bhagwan Ki Jai. Swagatam Sri Ganesh, Swagatam Sri Ganesh, Sharanam Gatam Sri Ganesh, Swagatam Sri Ganesh, Sharanam Gatam Sri Ganesh. love and forgiveness, peace and love, please come to my life. Swagatam, my dear friends, mean welcome. So the line Swagatam Sri Ganesh is saying welcome, welcome, O Sri Ganesh. And then the line love and forgiveness, please come to my life. That is what we want in our lives. We must be able to love and we must be able to forgive. Swagatam Sri Ganesh, Sharanam Gatam Sri Ganesh. Swagatam Sri Ganesh, Sharanam Gatam Sri Ganesh. Swagatam Sri Swagatam Sri Swagatam 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 Sri Ganesh. Swagatam Sri Ganesh, Sharanam Gatam 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 Sri Ganesh. Put in the hands together, closing the physical eyes. We prepare for this evening discourse. Om Samukascha Ekadantascha Kapilo Gaja Karnakam Lambodarascha Vikto Viganasham Ganadipati Namaham. Om Dhumraketu Ganayaksho Balachandro Gajyanaham Dwadeshatani Namami Yatsrinudhyapim Vedyarambe Vivahe Cha Pravishe Nirgamitatam Sangrame Sankate Chay Evam Viganamatasya Na Jayatim. Om Gajananam Bhutaganadisevitam Kapeta Jambo Palasara Bhakshanam Uma Sutam Shoka Vinashakarkam Namami Viganeshwar Parapankajam. Om Ekadantaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayam. Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. Om Sri Ganesh Bhagwan ki Jai. Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai 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 Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai 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 Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai 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 Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai. Jai Sri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagwan. Jai Sri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagwan. Vyasa ji bole lok pitamaha. आपने राजा रुक मंगल का भरा सुंदर चरित्रा सुनायन। जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान। किंतु ऋषि पत्नी मुकुंदा के विषया में कुछ नहीं कहा। उसके दृष्टा का पता ऋषि को लागय नहीं। जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान। और लगा तो फिर क्या हुआ। जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान। जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति। हरि बोल।
जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय 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 गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय जय।
ब्रह्मा जी बोले हे सत्यवती नंदन, मुकुंदा के दुष्टा का ऋषि को ठोपात नहीं लगा। जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान। 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 लेखिना सहस्त्रक्षम इंद्र ने यहाँ बात जात ली। जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान। उसने राजा रुकमंदा का रूप बनाया और ऋषि पत्नी के पास जा पूछा। मुकुंदा उसे देख कर हर्ष भी भोर हो गई। उनके मिलन के पलस स्वरूप मुकुंदा के गर्भा से एक तेजस्वी पुत्र उत्पन्न हुआ। ऋषि ने हर्षिता मन से उसके समस्त संस्कार करते और उसे समस्त वेदंगते का ज्ञान करया। उन्होंने उस भलका का नाम ग्रीष्मध्य रखा। जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान। जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान। हरि बोल। जय जय गणपति जय
गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय 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 गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय 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 गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय जय।
गणेश भगवान की
जय।
So last evening, my dear friends, we learned and we saw the willpower of that young king, Rukamanga. We saw the willpower, my dear friends, of that young king, Rukamanga. And we know that once there is willpower, you are well on the way up to God's realization. But my dear friends, Mukunda, the wife of Kavi Mahamuni, had been taken away so much, my dear friends, by her lustful feelings that she lose control of herself. Devotees and friends, this Mukunda was in a very, very, very sad state. For devotees and friends, She had been carried away by her lustful feeling. So, my dear friends, we saw one, Rukamanga, who was well controlled, who had the willpower. You know, sometimes, and I fall victim of it also, we know that all the sweet things and the Coca-Cola is not good for us. But yet still we do not have the willpower to stop it. Amrit, you stop it though. Kaviraj, you stop it. And you know why I ask these two godchildren of mine? My dear friends, I remember very well when the mother was alive. Each man, when you're going to eat, had a 2 liter in the hand. A 2 liter of Coca-Cola, not water. So we have to stop that. Today, I myself indulge in a Coca-Cola. And when we were buying it, my daughter encouraged me, the big one. My dear friends, and when we were buying the Coca-Cola, there was a guy who we started to talk to. And he said, it's a few years, well, now he stopped drinking Coca-Cola. And I say, I too stopped drinking Coca-Cola, but I have one in my hand. Where is the willpower? Some days I really exhibit that willpower. When I and the smaller one went to, I and Nirav went down to the cremation site just yesterday. I felt so much drained. I buy the Coca-Cola, but I also bought a cold water. I drink out the cold water before I reach home, and the Coca-Cola, Anushka and Kandika drank it last night. Prem Sabaleshri Ganesh Bhagwan Ki. So my dear friends, willpower is very, very important. Willpower saves you from a lot of problems. So we saw Rukamanda got his curse, but he get out of it. And so my dear friends, yet still Mukunda, I bring you back from last night Katha, Mukunda did not in any way allow that lustful, desirous feelings for Rukamanda to leave her. But again, my dear friends, the Saga boy came in the scene. And who is the Saga boy? Ravi? Lord Indra came in the scene, my dear friends. And he looking down from heaven, seeing the thirst that Mukunda had for Rukamanda, he knows for a fact that any other person approach her, it will not work. So what he did, just my dear friends, as he took the form of Gautama Rishi and went and deceived Ahilya, he took the form of Rukamanda, not her husband, because she was not having that desirous longing for her husband. She was having that longing desirous for Rukamanda. Rukamanda, however, my dear friends, told to her, and I want to share this line with you all. Rukamanda told to Rukamanda told to her, he says that it is better. It says that a few moments of pleasure with someone other than your husband brings so much of difficulties and guilt into your life that it does not worth it. And my dear friends, all that she tried to convince Rukamanda, my dear friends, told to her, he says, listen, he says, I rather die than to disrespect myself. And that was his willpower, my dear friends. He did not just leave her alone, but he tried, my dear friends, to convince her and teach her what she was doing was totally wrong. So, my dear friends, it tells to us here now that this Lord Indra took the form of Rukamanda and he went. And so, my dear friends, Mukunda was able to satisfy her thirst. But in the process of that, she became pregnant. And when she became pregnant, watch what lust, what living in the lower area teaches to us, my dear friends. When she performed and she did that act, she became pregnant. But she firmly believed that she was pregnant for the king, Rukamanda. And so she went to her husband, Kavi Maharishi, and she lived like normal. And so this wonderful child was born, my dear friends. And that child was named Krichamdar. And so Krichamdar was born. And my dear friends, it says, Kavi Muni named him, he gave him the name Nam Samskar, and he performed all the 6 ceremonies of wearing the sacred thread, the Janev, and all of that. And he taught him, my dear friends, the Vedas. He was very versed into the Vedas. And so Kirit Chaman, or Kricha Madhar, that child, my dear friends, was given the mantra Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. And he was, my dear friends, just as Rukamanda, with all the above qualities. He knew of space and time. He was very loving. He was very kind. He was very compassionate. His whole life, my dear friends, was an illumination. Wherever he walked, the light of divinity passed. And my dear friends, such was this child. Children of God, he was fearless. He was fearless. What a wonderful child. Children of God, he was free. He did not acquire any of those Shakti or qualities. You know, Ganesha called it Abhas. He says that this child was free from all the adharmic qualities. And what are the adharmic qualities that we must avoid? You know, if I tell you that this boy was not adharmic, then you must know what you have to give up also. It says the first thing that he teaches us is that we must avoid inharmonious condition within our home. In our home sometimes, and we all know, sometimes wife and husband, father and daughter, mother and child, sometimes that inharmonious feeling comes. So it says here we must avoid that inharmonious condition within the home. The fighting and the squabbling among those who are near and dear to each other must be avoided. Why? Because these make strong samskaras or scars in the subconscious mind and begin to create a subconscious and opposes any kind of furtherance of religious life. The first, therefore, is the deepest that we should avoid and the most difficult to rise out of. Tonight I want to stress on that point. We must avoid. You see, if I tell you be harmonious, you will say yes, you are harmonious within your family. But it says here, the inharmonious condition within the home. And it continues to tell us, the fighting and the squabbling among those who are near and dear to each other. Devotees and friends, is this a reality or not? Isn't it that sometimes we have this fighting and this quarreling and this squabbling within ourselves? This must be avoided. And so, devotees and friends, this boy had all those wonderful qualities. He had his family well together. He had everybody happy. He had all his people around him very happy. And then one day, something happened. And let us hear that now. Jai Sri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagavan. Jai Sri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagavan. Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai Ganapati. देश के राजा के यहाँ सृष्टि उसमें अनेका ऋषि महर्षि अमंत्रिता थे घृत समाधि उस अवसर पर निमंत्रिता हम जय श्री गणेश। वहाँ ऋषियों और वृद्धों के समाज में शस्त्रम चर्चाम चलाने लगी तो घृत समाध वची वची में बोलकर आपनी मृदुता दिखने लगा। जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान, जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान। इस पर एक ऋषि को क्रोध आ गया और उन्होंने उससे कहा रुकमंगा निरठाका बधापन मत बधारो भस्तुता तुम ऋषि पुत्र नहीं वरन क्षत्रिया पुत्र हो। तुम के तो हमारे सत भेटने के भी अधिकार नहीं है। ए जय जय गणपति
जय गणपति जय गणेश जय
friends, there was a sitting of the great sages. Atri Muni was in the head of that. And so, my dear friends, this young boy, Kricha Madhar, he was there also. And so, my dear friends, the debate began and the discussion between Atri Muni and this young boy on the knowledge of the arts. You know, they both, Atri Muni and this boy, started to have conflicting opinions. And so, my dear friends, their words became very heated in exchange. It says, at the end of it, Atri Muni could not win this young boy. He could not win Kricha Mandhar. So, my dear friends, if you is a senior person, and this happens, you know, a senior person is there, and the young person is there, and the young person is sharing an idea with the older person, and the older person cannot, you know, identify with what the young boy is saying. What happens? Anger step in, and anger step in because of what? Because of the ego. I remember when I was pretty younger, still young, when I was pretty younger, my dear friends, and I used to be attending Pandit Council meeting, there were some older pundits and who used to be discussing certain things. And the research that I had made had answers for all of them. But when they continue and they, you know, the ego start rising, I used to stay quiet in a corner. I used to stay quiet and never eating. But devotees and friends, this young boy wasn't staying quiet. He was showing to Atri Muni because his father have taught him. And so, my dear friends, Atri Muni believed that he was senior. And because he was senior, this little boy cannot override him and win him. But my dear friends, when anger comes, you move from a different state now. You come to a different stage. Eh? When anger takes you over, you could be what saint, you could be what, my dear friends, you come into the worldly part. You come into the physical part. And we would see, my dear friends, that every one of the sages who got angry fell from their position and had to start mounting themselves back up. Yeah. So I'm telling to you, anytime you become angry, you will fall from your present position and you have to start climbing back up. But this Atri Muni didn't stop there. He tell him, he says, son, you plain that you come from a saintly home. You feel your father is a rishi. He said, but that is not true. He said, your father is a Kshatriya, he is Rukamanda. Because everybody was of the opinion that that is Rukamanda's son. Because Lord Indra took the form, the Saga boy came in the picture against her. So anybody who wants to play Saga boy, you will hear the kind of trouble you'll find yourself into. You'll have to hide yourself in a stock. You will have to hide yourself at the end of the day when reality starts to strike you back. And always remember, my dear friends, you get away today, you get away tomorrow, but when the truth comes out, as it says, there is a wonderful saying, and I learned this from the time I was a small boy. No matter how deep the lie go, the untruth, no matter how deep it goes under, one day it will surface on top. And when it surfaces on top, it will be more embarrassing and more troubleful to deal with than if you had dealt with it at the very beginning. So children of God, try and live a very truthful life. As I always say, there is nothing like a white lie. You know, people like to use that term, a white lie, to cover up for when they make a lie and to talk on truth and to commit that sin of speaking on truth. There is nothing like a white lie. Once you talk on truth, it is on truth, and it carries the punishment with it. So those who want that punishment, you continue to tell lies. I won't tell you stop, continue. Because who start telling lies will continue to tell lies, to keep their lies to become truth. So devotees and friends, he tell him, he say, you is not no son of no rishi. You are the son of a Kshatriya, Raja Rukamangan. Devotees and friends, this boy, Krichamandar Muni, because he had reached the stage of being a Muni, a great sage. It says his eyes became red when he heard that. It says his eyebrow left. My dear friends, and he left the company of the respected sages and he went straight back home. If somebody tell to you, you know, hey, what happened? How your eyes so red and your face, you know? When anger takes you over, that is what happened. Your eye become red. And when anger takes you over, my dear friends, you lose memory. And when you lose memory, you can perform any action that you will regret after. So this young boy became very, very angry and he head home. Let us hear what happened when he reached home. Hey, Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati,
Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati,
Jai Sri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagavan. Jai Sri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagavan. Firi kya ta nigrita samadum turantam utakaram upani mata ke. So he went back straight to his mother. Paas gaya aur पूछे लगा माता मैं किसी का पुत्र है. Mother, I want to know whose son I am. मुकुंदा के कहा पुत्र आपने पिता का ही होता है. इसमें शंका कैसे. मैं किसी का पुत्र हूँ, मैं किसी का पुत्र हूँ, मैं किसी का पुत्र हूँ. And he keep asking over and over to his mother, Mother, whose son I am, whose son I am. And Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh,
Jai Ganapati,
Oh!
Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai.
Don't you think that would have been the most obvious question of the son? So he reached back immediately to his mother, a little bit angry. And once you're angry, again, as I told to you, you move from this state of being divine into the state of coming into the body. And once you live in the worldly level, my dear friends, then the karma starts entangling again. You start creating entangling karmas. Karmas which will cause you trouble, distress, pain, sorrows in your life. Children of God, I want you to be very careful about your anger. Anger, my dear friends, when anger exceeds, and you will see how it happens here. This boy says, "Mother, mother, whose son I am, I want to know." And he keep pressing, and the line keep repeating itself, my dear friends, as this wonderful child came to his mother. "Main kisi ka putra hu, main kisi ka putra hu, main kisi ka putra hu." The word putra means son. So he wants to know whose son I am. And then the mother did not lie for her son anymore, because all his life he went, my dear friends, with that thought that Kavi Mahamuni was his father. Kavi Mahamuni did all his samskaras. Give him Janev, give him name, give him everything else. Something which we hardly do. My dear friends, technology have reached so advanced that you're getting a boy child or a girl child now. And you put name for the child even before the child born. So we don't have no need for Nam Samskar now. But Nam Samskar is so important. My dear friends, he gave him the Janev. Today now some of us take the Janev and we place it on the mango tree because we can't live up to it. I am looking for few people to keep 1 year of a vrat. I only get 26 yet. 19 repeating, and how much? I think 7 continuing, or 10, somewhere around there. So my dear friends, this is a commitment in life. But what happened to this boy? You see situations sometimes, my dear friends, when we do not have control of situation, what happened? We come and we find ourselves in the same thing that the Lord tells us that we should avoid. And what is that? It says here that we should try to avoid the inharmonious condition within the home, the fighting and squabbling among those who are near and dear to each other. What this boy started to do. And he was a sage. He was a Muni. When he came back home, my dear friends, because of the information received from that authority, because remember, Atri Muni is not an ordinary person. He was a great sage. He himself too fell. Because what happened? He did not think. He did not use his capacity of thinking that what this would do to the child. But my dear friends, karma has a way of doing things that real and the truth have to show itself. As I tell to you, the great saints and sages said, no matter how deep the lie goes under the water, one day it will surface itself. And so, children of God, the mother told to him, he says, son, you are the son of Rukamanga. And she told him the whole thing, how she got into the worldly aspect and how she lose control and how she had that moment with Rukamanda and he was, conceived as a result. And devotees and friends, okay, he accepted what she said. And he knew now, he got angry with the great sage. He have to go back now, although the great sage had anger and told him that because he couldn't win him out of the ego he told him. The sage told him a truth. The sage didn't tell him anything lying. So my dear friends, when we hear the truth, or when we hear something, we must not get angry immediately. We must try our best and analyze it. We must try and get, my dear friends, all the facts of the matters. However, my dear friends, he was all right when his mother told him that. But something further happened. Before I close the kata, I want to tell to you what happened. As he was now in his relaxing mode, the Akashvani, the voice from the heavens, my dear friends, told to him, he says, son, Rukamanga is not your father. Tell me now. Your mother tell you one thing now, and now somebody else telling you another thing again. That poor child mind became so confused. And my dear friends, you must not try to confuse the mind of your children. Please, do not. Parents, you have and you owe it to your children to keep them with a clear mind. I remember I spent 11 years as a postman before I went on to the job that I really wanted to do. And at the end of my journey, at the end of the district, there was a very, very old lady. And I used to be chatting with her for about 10-15 minutes because she had nobody and she wanted someone to talk to. I was already in the spiritual path, so I used to talk to her and so on. And she told to me, her son, a professional, told her, he said, Ma, let's leave here and come home, live by me. Because he had his house and everything else that the job had allowed him. And when he used to go to work, the daughter-in-law used to call the mother and tell her, he said, look, you do this work and you do that work and you do that work, and she sent the maid on holidays. And what she did, not to cause her son's mind to be confused. One child she had, and that was her son. He was a professional, so his friends would have been professionals. One of them was a doctor. And she called him and she says, son, come for me now, I want to go home. I'm feeling like I want to go home. And he says, okay, ma, I'll come for you and take you home. And my dear friends, he took her home. And I think she died. And she never told her son why she came back home. And that is what parents are to do. They are not to create, my dear friends, the mind of their child to be in a confused state. Prem se bole Sri Krishna Bhagwan ki. And so, devotees and friends, Rukamanga had her son very confused now. She told him, Mukunda, she told him that Rukamanda was his father, and now the Akashvani is telling him, hey, your father is not Rukamanda. Your father is Devendra, the Lord of the celestial world. And he told her, he said, mother, he said, you live your life like a tree. And a tree, my dear friends, is a special name, the special tree, which the bark of the tree, the skin of the tree, usually they use and they peel out to use other things. He said, mother, you like that tree. You move over the place. You know, just as how this tree is without skin, so too you move like that, without shade. He says, and mother, you will now become the Jujupe tree. The Jujupe tree, my dear friends, is a tree in the forest that not even birds go and sit down on. Not even birds go and sit down on that tree. So everything avoid that tree. And he said, mother, you will become a jujupe tree. So what he did, that curse, my dear friends, was that his mother will be isolated from everything else in the world. The mother, in turn, she became angry, and how my son could do that to me. And she says, son, you will be able and you will have to get a son who is not righteous. You will get a son who will be a Rakshas. And just how you treat me in Rakshas-like mode, your son will treat you likewise. Children of God, you see how one action of wrongdoing, you see how much, it triggered off. How many other things got triggered off? A child who was very harmonious with his family became the squabbling was very much there. So children of God, I ask of you this evening, keep yourself in the straight path. Keep yourself in the straight path. Hold on to your families, your siblings. Situation may come where you will have squabbling and quarreling. Avoid that. When the time comes for the squabbling and the quarreling, call the guru and quarrel with the guru. The guru know how to manage it. You all don't know. Because you go quarrel now and you go vex for 10 years down the road. And only you will regret it at the end of the day. My dear friends, tonight's katha conclude by saying, if you live here in the spiritual life, you will be able to deal with any situation that confronts you. If you don't, then my dear friends, you will become in the position just as mother and son here have cursed one another. Mother have now come to a tree. Not even a bird will go on that tree. And the son have to now expect a child who will be a Rakshas. But my dear friends, this son, because of his spiritual growth and his spiritual development, started to perform tapasya to see how much the curse will be lessened. And so tomorrow we will hear of those tapasya. And then on Sunday night, we will hear about the child which is being born to him, the son. Prem Sabole Sri Ganesh Bhagwan ki Jai. So Sunday night we are going down to Felicity, and to our wonderful viewers on Sankhya TV, you will be also down there to follow on this wonderful katha. So tomorrow night we hear of the penance, because everything you do wrong, everything that is not prescribed, my dear friends, don't believe that is the end of the world. You always, it says that once you keep yourself in the company of the saints, it says crows will become cuckoos. It means that from one extreme will come to the next. So my dear friends, keeping yourself in the company of the saint can transform any wrong thing that you have done. And mind you, as I said, that every wrong thing that you do, remember, as you send it, if you send it 10 miles per hour, it comes back 10 miles per hour to you. If you send the wrong thing 100 miles per hour, it comes back 100 miles per hour to you. So you perform the wrong action, Balkand of Ramayana tells to you, be a good Harijan and accept. You see, Lord Indra accepted the wrong thing that he do, and Narad give him the answer, how to build the shield. So too, my dear friends, talk to your guru. Tell him of the wrong that you have done, and let him give you the necessary job and tapas to perform, so that when it returns, you will be able to protect yourself. As I told you some nights back, if you know that flood water is coming back to you at 5 feet in height, you would not build a wall that is 2 feet. You'll build a wall that is 6 feet or above. So my dear friends, we all know that we have done wrong. Let us start building that wall to protect ourselves for when the reaction is coming. Because no matter what you do, it's the law of nature. What you present in the world is going to come back with you at the same pace that you send it. Prem Sabole Sri Ganesh Bhagwan Ki. So I know it's time up now on me, and we'll have the cracking of the coconut and the arti. Now we got your pitch there, Omar. Coconuts, everybody get your coconut, please. You give me yours. Give me where you comfortable. Everybody hold your coconut. All those who are sitting, please stand at this time. If you don't even have a coconut to crack, you stand up. You all pray. You can stand right where you are here now and face the murtis now, everybody, and make your prayer. Hari Om Sri Ganesh, today we come to you. Please accept our offerings and be pleasing with us all. Om Samukascha Ekadantascha Kapilo Gaja Karnakam Lambodarasa Chavikto Viganasham Ganadipatiye Namaham Om Dupraketu Ganayaksho Balachandro Gajianam Dwadeshatani Namami Yatsrinudhyapim Vidyarambe Vivahe Cha Pravishe Nirgame Tatham Sangrame Sankate Chay Evam Vignamatasya Na Jayatim Om Sri Ganesh Bhagwan Ki Jai. Ganesh Bhagwan Ki Jai. Punyari base, crack your coconut. Ganesh Bhagwan Ki Jai. So we must only be hearing that now. Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh Deva. Mata Tero Parvati Pita Mahadeva. Mata Tero Parvati Pita Mahadeva. Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh Deva. Mata Tero Parvati Pita Mahadeva. Mata Tero Parvati Pita Mahadeva. Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh Deva. Mata Tero Parvati Pita Mahadeva. Mata Tero Parvati Pita Mahadeva. लक्ष्मण का भोग लागे संग कर सेवा. लक्ष्मण का भोग लागे संग कर सेवा. जय गणेश, जय गणेश, जय गणेश देवा. जय गणेश, जय गणेश, जय गणेश देवा. माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा. माता तेरो चार भुजधारी एक दंत धायवते चार भुजधारी कि मस्तक सिंदूर सोहे मुसकी ये सवारी
जय गणेश जय गणेश
जय गणेश देवा माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा माता तेरो पार्वती पिता
जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा
और चढ़ावे फूल चढ़ावे और चढ़ावे मेवा और चढ़ावे फूल चढ़ावे और चढ़ावे मेवा भजन के पुत्र देख निर्धन को माया
जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा
जय गणेश
जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा
hands together. Closing the physical eyes, we pray. Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Dear Lord, please hold our hands and guide us, O Bhagwan. Guide us so that we will keep the harmony and the love into our family. Dear Lord, help us that if there is any inharmonious relation, any inharmonious happening into our home, let us have it corrected. Because quarreling and squabble only brings us into deeper hell. We want to climb heaven. So help us so that we will be harmonious. We'll be loving. We will hold our brother hands and lift them. We will embrace our siblings, no matter what our indifferences may be. God have chosen your siblings. You didn't choose that. God brought the siblings together. And you must do everything possible in the name of Sri Ganesh Bhagwan to hold the siblings together. Do not embrace the tiger, however, for the tiger will rip you apart. But have no hate in your heart. Send love for all. No matter if they hate you, you send love. And one day the hate will change into love. O Ganesha, you carries the elephant. You teaches us to discriminate. You teach us listen more and talk less. You have a big ears and a small mouth. Ganesh Bhagwan, teach us to lift ourselves. And let us start lifting ourselves by knitting our relationship in our household and with our siblings. Then we can move out to the community. Then we can move out to the trees and the plants. Oh Bhagwan, we beg of you this evening, grant us this Shakti, this power of yours. Om Tvameva Matam Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sikha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Ganesh Bhagwan ki, Shiva Bhagwan ki, आज शक्ति पार्वती देवी माता की, सनातन धर्म की, ओम श्री गुरुदेवता की जय जय सीताराम to all. Please have your seat. Arati and Prasad will come to you. Sitaram. Join us tomorrow again, and you was very much early today, starting with your offerings and so on. So please come so that we can finish offering by 7:15, 20 past 7. So I could have just a little more time with the Katha. Tomorrow is going to teach us about penance, tapasya. One announcement, and last evening I told you all that we'd be going Kali Bay for Visarjan. But as I told to you, after every session here, when you all leave for home, the core people come together and look at what is best for the next day. And so, my dear friends, we had two other members visiting another spot down in Laramine. And when they visited that spot, they see it will be better for us to be there than in Calibi. And so we have changed, and we have now agreed upon that we are going into Laramine. That's just before you start entering to Midley Creek. There is a traffic light there. There is a hotel on the left side, Paria Suite, and the street is Sunset Cove. So you turn, you have to take the lane that will turn right, and you go in there and you drive straight down. When you reach, you'll meet like a road on the right, one on the left. You're taking the left, going down straight to the sea. Also, Dharam Ki Awaaj have made arrangement that to lessen the amount of vehicles going down there, we have arranged for a 25-seater maxi. So we are catering the 25 people would be going with the maxi, and few of us will go with the vehicle should in case, those who are not going with their vehicles and has no place into the maxi will be able to take you along also. So we want everybody to go, so we will make arrangement, and that's why we have the maxi there for those who would not be able to drive down to that point. It is free of charge. Please do not believe that you will have to pay. Dharam Ki Awaaj is standing the cost of the maxi, and that is all in the effort to make sure that we get maximum amount of people going to benefit from the Visarjan. So tomorrow would be our last evening here, and then on Sunday morning we start our puja at 6:30. We want all puja people, state if you can reach at 6:30, because by 6:45, 6:30 to 6:45 will be setting up time, and 6:45 to about 6:30 we'll be able to complete the puja, and then another 10 minutes to clean your bedi and so on. So then by then we'll be able to take the murtis on the outside, where we will start the bathing, the abhishek and everything else. And when we do the final bathing there, we load them on the vehicle, heading down to Sunset Cove, down in Laramine, where we will do the Visarjan. When we reach down there, it will be just sindoor, saffron, and we will be doing cracking of the coconuts down there and arti. After which we will do shantipat, and we will set the murtis to be back, earth to earth, water to water, fire to fire, air to air, and ether back to outer space. And that is what tomorrow night I'll see if I could talk to you a little bit about the significance of the Visarjan. Sitaram. That's all announcements. Yes, so please, Parsad will come to you. And so, my dear friends, we have refreshment for all. A reminder again that we will be going down to officiate at Felicity, Ganesh Utsav Committee, Ganesh Utsav Festival Committee. So we're going down there to join with them from Sunday night. Sitaram. Amen.